Hey y'all, this is Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings, and I got a really cool, good quality tripod and ring light in today because I was doing a live a while back and everybody was looking so profesh and I was looking very fluorescent overhead lighting, so I was like, I gotta change that. And normally I could never really do good quality content when it was like evening, and now I can. Now before I actually start, I gotta turn around, quickly check if I didn't forgot anything. Not really. We're good to go. So I want to do a little series on my channel where I kind of go through my collection because I have this cabinet with all these tubs, all these boxes, and they're filled with decks and they're kind of sorted by theme. And the first tub is also the fullest because I happen to love this deck category. And I'm also kind of doing this to kind of rekindle my bond with some of those decks. And this tub is filled with animal decks. Now, one that I actually frequently use is this deck. It's the Glow Oracle by Robin Boyce at Solstice Healing, and I actually posted a really gorgeous picture with this the other day. It's a really good deck. I don't know if you guys have seen it, so this is not going to be like walkthroughs and shit. It's just going to be, it's almost really nice matte finish, so, you know, even though there's a little bit of reflection, you know, you can still see the picture. And this is all kinds of like really cool animals that are biofluorescent, or, you know, that animals that glow, hence the Glow Oracle. And some of the cards look kind of creepy. Some of the cards look really cute, and you know, it's actually a really good learning resource because I learned a lot about animals. Like, I learned so much. So this is a really cool deck, not just for divination, because the keywords on here are stellar, but it's also a really good like reference book. Like, honestly, if this would be a huge hardcover book, I'd totally be into it. And I think a lot of kids as well. Like, this is kind of a deck that you could like, this would be a really good oracle deck for kids that kind of want to get into witchy stuff. So this is not one that really needs any rekindling. Same goes for the next one, so I do need to put these down, otherwise I'm gonna forget. The Hummingbird Wisdom Oracle. Now this is on glossy cardstock, so I don't know how well it's gonna show, but it's definitely a favorite of mine. It's a very standard oracle deck in the sense that it has a cool picture, an affirmation, stuff like that. Not all the art is like my favorite all the time, but for some reason this deck called me from whenever it was first like put on. Hello new ring light. From whenever it was put on Amazon for the first time with the preview images, and I was like, I have to have this. And it's a really good, fun, usable deck, and it gives me great messages that, you know, always resonate. And this isn't just lovey-dovey-doo-dah. There's a lot of like messages that make you think on here as well, so that's actually really good. So this one is definitely one that doesn't need rekindling. The other one I've only used once since I got it. You know, it was really affordable, but I'm kind of scared to use it because the cardstock is so thin, and that's the Woodland Wardens by Jessica Rue. It's actually a really good deck. I don't own the Oak, Ash, and Thorn Tarot. I love this deck. This illustration style is very like vintagey, which I like, which I'm kind of into. Sometimes I'm into really bright modern shit, and sometimes I'm into this vintagey style. And this is always an animal and then a plant or tree, or, you know, so it's always flora and fauna and flora. And the guidebook goes into little bits of mythology surrounding those animals and those plants and why they go together so well. There is sort of a major arcana hidden in here as well. The cardstock actually feels really nice, so the finish is really good. It's just a smidge too thin for my liking, and you know, I always feel very self-conscious when I use it, but yeah, this is definitely one that I should be using more. So I'm going to kind of make that a separate pile right here on the floor. So this is not that prepared. This is literally me going along as we go. The next one I'm already unpacking, even though I haven't even like showed it. This is the indie edition of the Fairy Majesty Oracle. Haven't used it as much as I wanted to. Lovely cardstock, also got that great UV matte coating. Did a really extensive review on this. I kind of picked up journaling again. Martin kind of like sparked my love for it. So I should definitely start using this deck, because this deck literally has really great journaling questions. Another one that's really cool. It's not necessarily animal. Irene Light. I'm just really stoked about Irene Light. But there is a lot of animal imagery in here, so this is usually animal nature kind of in this category. So this is a Pathfinder Oracle by Andy Schwartz. I love the way this deck smells. So this is a diamond shaped deck. And this doesn't have keywords, it has symbols, and it's kind of up to you as the reader to kind of ascribe meaning to them. There is a guidebook, but Andy is very clear about him wanting you to sort of, you know, do your own thing with it, which I dig, and a lot of these symbols really resonate with me. I know I saw this on a shit ton of trading places online, because people didn't get it, got it out of excitement, and then, you know, didn't fall in love with it like they thought they would. I happen to love it. There's lots of animal imagery in here, and I use this every now and then. So yeah, I may actually, you know, that pile that's kind of forming may actually be my next week's deck pile. That sounds like a really good idea. Another Andy Schwartz one. This one I do use a lot. We've all seen it a shit ton of times on YouTube, I think. The Wooden Tarot, very animal centered. Love it. He's probably one of my favorite artists in general. Like, this is my vibe. It's animals, it's nature, it's inspiration from nature, but it's weird as hell. This used to be all over Instagram. I never really see it anymore. This is definitely going in my next week's pile. For me, the thing that is a little annoying sometimes is the renaming of the suits. I don't really like renamed suits. I get that it's kind of the way of the artist to get some, you know, creative freedom when it comes to the tarot, because it is such a set system. But yeah, I don't like it. It makes my life a lot more difficult when it's something that's really clear. I can handle it, but here it's bones, stones, blooms, and plumes. So plumes I get, that's obviously air, but then bones and stones I kind of get mixed up. Up next, Affirmator's Tarot. It's cute. It's really cute. Every time I pick this up, when I open this box, when I pick the box up, I'm like, I need to get rid of this. But it's actually really good. It's so colorful. It's so affordable too. This is such a luxe quality deck to get at a really cheap mass market price. And even though it may not always look that, Rider-Waite-esque, it's actually very Rider-Waite-Smithian, so that's fun. This is a bit too bubbly, summery for me to use now. I kind of want to keep my autumn aesthetic going. So this is not going to be used next week, but this should be used because it's really good. Honestly, guys, this set, if you have a friend that's into tarot, everything's falling. If you have a friend that's into tarot and you don't know what to get them for their birthday, You can't go wrong with this set. Unless you're a friend of mine, then you should know that I already have this and that I have no need for it. But yeah, I think this is by Knock Knock Publishing. They do some other cool tarot and oracle stuff as well. This is not going in the to be used pile. This one is though. The Sacred Bee Oracle. I kind of got it on a whim because I didn't want the Sacred Bee Tarot because I have enough tarot already. And although this is very usable, most of the cards are, I did kind of feel like, okay, bees, 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 so many bees. Yes, we got it. It's about bees. Bees are important. Bees are life. You know, so in that sense, I may have been a bit underwhelmed, but it is really stunning. It's just that, you know, with all the bee imagery, sometimes the cards can feel a bit samey, even though the keywords on here are stellar. So I think I'm gonna keep it. At least I should use it in the future. So, you know, like, I can't do a video like this every week with every chub because it's gonna be, you know, I'm gonna have to post on my Instagram 20,000 times a day or do 30,000 readings for myself. But this is really pretty. Actually, looking at it like this right now on the camera, it looks so stunning. Like, but it is bees and bees and bees and bees, and I see the same silhouette used a lot of times. So the jury's still out on this one, but it is quality-wise such a good product. I mean, I didn't even show you guys the backs. Look at the backs, guys. Whoops. They're really purple, and they got this like foil stamping on here, which shows you kind of that bee silhouette. But there is a lot of bees, 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 and bees. But it is really pretty, so it is going in my pile. The Pegasus Oracle, I use this every now and then. It's fun, it's cute. There's only a couple of cards in this deck. It's very guidebook heavy. I mainly got it for the stunning art. This is art by the same girl as Angela Hartfield's Whispers from the Oceans, but this is just Pegasi. Stunningly drawn illustrations, and the messages in the guidebook aren't bad either. So, you know, it's cute. It's cute. It's not going anywhere. I'm definitely keeping this. Because I already did kind of a very big deck haul, which I didn't do that publicly. I know a lot of people love doing it very publicly. I don't. But yeah, I already use this one a lot, so. This deck, the Primrose and Prose Oracle, is such a mess. Such a mess. I bought this deck. The guidebook is printed wrong. The version I had cards with like these scan lines over them. I mean, they're really cute. They got this hollow effect going on. It's pretty usable, but there's not a really good concept behind the deck. It's much more of an aesthetic deck. But you know, it took me so much time to get it. You know, so that experience was so tainted already that I feel like I should not let it go, because I do love the artwork a lot, and but you do really need the guidebook with a lot of these cards. So it's basically the zodiac signs and then some random cards with keywords on them, which, you know, some of them make sense, some of them make you think they make sense, and then you read the guidebook entry and you're like, okay, that's different, that's interesting. But you know, I'm not gonna let it go just yet. In fact, I may actually use this next week, and that pile is already growing very much. So the Colette Baron-Reid Spirit Animal Oracle, stunning deck, really good. Probably also one of those decks that you really want to gift to someone who you know is into card reading. I etched mine to kind of match this vibe of the backs. I think I did a pretty good job. Look at how vibrant that is. Really stunning imagery. Probably Jenna's best work. This is from when she was kind of in that shamanic vibe, which I thought was really good. I think nowadays the style she's got isn't really for me. This is a fun deck. I do find the messages to be a bit too on the nose sometimes. So yeah, but it's cute. It's fun. I love the art. Love the deck. Really interesting guidebook. All these messages were channeled my ass when I did research online for some animal work of my own. I found some very handy reference sites, which Colette also frequents, I think. But you know, that's not horrible. Just don't say you channeled all the messages. Magic of the Unicorns, got this from Martin. A unicorn is an animal. I think it's really cute. The book that goes along with this is absolutely atrocious. The big book. Yeah, that is just freaking horrible. The backs are stunning too. This deck is really, really good for self-work, self-help. This is not a deck you use for readings with others. Not at all. Like, no, no, no. At least I don't. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You can do whatever the hell you want. I don't use this for work with others. It is filled with Diana Cooperisms, which, you know, sometimes I like, sometimes I don't. So I use this depending on my mood. But this is not going anywhere. In fact, I use it quite a lot, and there's no need for me to rekindle the flame with this, because the flame, although it's flickering every now and then, the flame is still there. I also put my Threads of Fate in the animal deck box. I've shown this a lot. They're stopping their deck work, so I'm really glad that I got this. This is probably still one of my favorite decks. I also have the first edition of this. This is the only deck that I have 2 copies of, because it's just amazing. This was my first indie deck ever. It still just completely takes my breath away. So yeah, it's really good, really well written as well. Like, sometimes with decks I'm like, especially when it's a collab deck, so this is 2 chicks working together, one is more in charge of the art, the other more in charge of the writing. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, the guidebook was meh. But this is a stellar package all around. No need to rekindle the love. Spirit Song Tarot, got that from a friend. I love Paulina Cassidy's work. This is my favorite deck by hers. I don't ever want to use this deck for client readings anymore. Let me tell you why. The font is just atrocious to use when you're, you know, sitting in a shop where you may not have, you know, your reading space set up exactly the way you want to, because you can't act like a diva in the shop, and the font is just really difficult to read sometimes, especially with the keywords. And I love keywords, but when I read for others, I prefer to have decks without them, because I don't want to put anything into their head that may not correlate with the way I'm seeing the reading. So, but I love this deck. No need to rekindle the love. It's just a fun revelation for me how important font, simple font, sometimes can be. How important how much it adds to the usability of a deck. Man, I'm going through these like crazy. Next one is one that I've barely used. So this is going in the rekindle pile. The El Goliath Tarot, 2nd edition. Really stunning, really gorgeous. I find it a bit difficult to wrap my head around sometimes. But it is stunning. It's probably, honestly, one of the greatest decks of the last decade. This is definitely one that's going to go down in the history books as something really special, as an occult piece of work. It's really dark. Sometimes I am not in the mood for dark imagery, but it is really stunning. So this is going in the rekindle pile, and this will actually look really pretty too. Like, it's a deck that's aesthetically pleasing and easy to photograph, but also has a lot of like darkness to it. It's a kind of a depression deck, if you get what I'm saying. I got it for free. That was so cool. I got it as a gift. The White Sage Tarot, still love this deck. Really gorgeous, really cute, really well designed. Really fun deck to use for me because I love reading with pips. It's very pastel, really gorgeous. There's a lot of animal imagery in here. It's either animals or pips, and I adore that. There's not really humans in here. It's a stunning set. I really wish US Games wouldn't have done a tin version of this. It really deserves a full-size release, but you know, I'm really happy with this. Really glad I got it. Doesn't need the love to be rekindled at all. Same goes for the Spirit Animal Oracle by Jody Bergsma with US Games. Huge cards, probably one of the best Animal Oracle decks on the market. It may not look as cool as Colette Baron Reed's, but it's way better, honestly. Like, Jody Bergsma kind of has this more old school Oracle card style fantasy art, which I love. It's very detailed, it's very stunning, it's very shamanic sometimes, it's very new age sometimes, but a lot of people have forgotten about this stunning set right here, and it is really good. There's these messages on the cards that are really thought-provoking and just amazing. Definitely one I use more for myself, but no need for me to rekindle the love because I just love this deck. Like, Jody Bergsma's art is fucking stunning. It's amazing. It's a complete showstopper of a deck. One that I got quite recently and haven't used that much, but I'm not going to use it right now because it's totally... Well, I could use it, actually. Yeah, it's not a summer deck. It's the Wild Wisdom of Australia Oracle cards by Blue Angel. Stunning deck. Let me begin with the backs. I mean, and this matte lamination that Blue Angel uses is just my favorite. It's a really cute deck full of Australian animals. Really cute, really cool. I love it. I love it. I just love it. It's really good. It's stunning. There's a lot of like layering going on in these pictures where you kind of get, you can't really, it doesn't really pick it up on camera, but there's a lot of background stuff going, like tree of life, flower of life-esque patterns going on in the back. Yeah, but you know, looking at this now again, I love it, but it's too much of a summer vibe for me now. But it's a really, really, really good deck. It has really good keywords, and it's another one of those decks where you learn a lot. So yeah, if you're like in the market for a sort of like new animal deck, this is definitely one to check out. It's good. It's cute. Can you ever have enough animal decks? No. The next one is in here because I didn't really have another place for it. The Foxfire Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, which is all about trans anthropomorphic fox ladies and dragons and stuff like that, especially foxes, of course. So yeah, it doesn't really belong in the animal section per se, but it's very animal-y, very animal-esque. I like it a lot. No need to rekindle the love. I love the art. It's cute. I think Lucy Cavendish is really good at making decks out of pre-existing art, who knows really how to work with an artist extremely well. So yeah, although it's very humanoid looking animals, I would like to have seen a bit more like a fox with 9 tails kind of stuff. But you know, you gotta work with what you have. So the Kitsune Foxfire Oracle. Love it, no need to rekindle the love. The Land and Sky Oracle by the same creator as the White Sage Oracle deck. It's cute. It's very yoga-esque. There's lots of animals in here. Lots of crystals. It's a bit of a mishmash of all kinds of stuff, but it is very animal-y, and it goes together really well with the tarot deck. So I decided to kind of keep them together in the box. I don't need to rekindle the love, although I haven't used this that much. It is very usable though. It's way more usable than our indie version, which was very inaccessible. So yeah, it's great. I'm not gonna rekindle any love soon. Another Diana Cooper deck. This is the Archangel Animals Oracle cards. Really cute. Really cute backs. Again, I love that. So these are all the animals that go with all the angels she channeled. There's interesting messages on here. I think the art is stunning. It's very cookie cutter, but I do like it a lot. Some of these decks I got at the local store, and sometimes I just, kind of blind buy one and let myself be surprised, and I loved this one. I think this is a really sincere piece of work. I love the art. Whoops. I love the messages. I love the cards. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people seem to think I hate Diana Cooper. That's not the case at all. I kind of like her, actually. I think she's really... I think she believes that she's doing God's work on Earth, and that's really cool. The Meraki Tarot with the spot gloss on the box. Really cute. Yeah, this deck needs some extra love from me. I got this because I missed out on the Kickstarter, and I hated that. It's stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. This is definitely going in my next week's pile. So I'm guessing I'm having an animal deck week next week, which kind of sounds like fun, actually. Yeah, this is just absolutely stunning. Really pretty deck. Look at this. Look at this. This is the Hermit, right? Yeah. Like, it's very layered very intricately and very interestingly. So it's a really interesting visual experience. I remember kind of thinking, I remember kind of hoping that it would add a bit more to my practice than it did. To me, right now, this is just a very aesthetically pleasing deck. So yeah, this is going on my next week's pile. And then I have two more in this box, which isn't really animal decks, but they're definitely nature decks. So it's kind of animal / nature. The Illuminated Earth Oracle, both by Claire Mack. They're really good decks, and I haven't really been using them a lot. The Illuminated Earth Oracle you may have seen already. There's some people in here which I like. A lot of people hated that. I like it a lot. I love Claire Mack's art. It's really good. I really would recommend this deck. It's really interesting, really well made, really pretty, really interesting, and I don't see a lot of people using this anymore, so definitely going in my next week's pile. So that's going to make for some interesting... Hey, there's a card stuck in the box. I don't want that. What the hell, guys? Oh, I don't like that. So I'm definitely putting the booklet in first now because I don't want my cards to get stuck. Definitely using this. The Faceted Garden Oracle, although cute, it did miss the mark for me a little bit. I didn't love it as much as I did. Wow, this deck box situation is a mess, guys. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but they don't really fit in there that well. I don't like it when my cards get stuck, They barely fit. Like, could have been a slightly bigger box. But yeah, the deck is really good. Didn't use it that much, so definitely finding some use for that next week. The Faceted Garden Oracle, it's all garden metaphors. I hate that it's on different cardstock than the other one, but it is really pretty. It's essentially more of the same, but with garden and garden allegories, garden symbolism. It's cute. I like it a lot. I wasn't as wowed as by the Illuminated Earth, but yeah, I could definitely see myself using them together. This does definitely feel more like a spring deck to me, so it is going in the pile, but I don't know if it's gonna be used next week. So, was that all? I don't know. The Earthbound Oracle, another Andy Schwartz deck. This is a really good little indie Oracle deck, once again with a lot of nature and animal-based imagery, which I think is stunning. Gorgeous deck, really good keywords. Some of them are a bit vocabulary-esque, you know, vocabulary-esque lessons. But you know, I can work with this fine. I have used this a lot. Haven't used it that much lately, but if I look at my next week's pile, going off of this, I'm going to be in for a treat already, so I'm not putting this in the next week's pile. So yeah, that was it. That was all my animal shit. Did I forget anything? No, I didn't. I hope you guys have kind of liked that, because I kind of intend to go through my collection. Maybe next time I'll do it in a top-down situation, but I felt like kind of talking to you guys. So anyways, the video has been long enough already. Love you, good night, and bye-bye.